Day 3. You can see I got my chain file set up here. I moved the car over a few feet so it's centered up with the beam. Ready to pull the engine, and I got a few bolts up like I said in the end of the last video. I'm really excited. I'm going to pick the pace up a little bit, I think. It's been taking a good while with filming here, but I'm really excited to get the engine out, so let's get going. I just wanted to grab the camera so I can try and show you the bolts before I remove them. They're a bit hard to see even for me, so hopefully you guys can see it on the camera, but there's one here for the starter on either side. There's two you can see right here on top. There's one in the middle of either side, and then on the bottom there's long studs with nuts on them. And that's basically it that holds it in. So these bolts are pretty long, but some of them are different lengths, so you gotta pay attention to how they come out. The starter ones are longer. You kind of need your whole arsenal of wrenches here to get these bolts out. You're gonna need some line extensions for the bottom ones, makes it nice and easy. Some universal joints. You're gonna need it all for this one. I had an issue with my block before. You might be able to see here. This one's actually much shorter than the rest of them. It's not supposed to be like that. I had to cut it. I had to see what's going on with my block. I'm gonna have to rethread it. There's lots of threads still in. It was only sticking off, you know, 1/8 of an inch, just a tiny little bit. So I just zipped the end off. We'll have to see what's happening there. Okay, so the starter's out. I'm gonna bring you in so you can see the bolts. It's a lot easier to see with the starter gone. You can see them there. It's one bolt and a nut on a stud. Alright, so we're under the car now on the passenger side. This nut right here is the engine mount nut. There's one on either side here. Super easy. There's only two of them to hold the engine in actually to the subframe, so yeah. Let's give it a quick blast for the impact, because I already had it down here. And that's it. Let's go do one on the other side now. The last thing we gotta do is disconnect the clutch. The engine won't come out unless we take out the shift fork first. There's a little plug on the side of the engine that uses an Allen head bolt. That's got to come out, and then behind that is the shaft. You have to thread a bolt into that shaft, and then it pulls out. You pull on the bolt and the shaft will come out freely. I'll show you here so you can see. So this is the shift fork that needs to come out. This rubber boot just comes out with it. It's just laid in there. The spring has to come off as well. You just pull it off. But this here is the plug that I was talking about. You just stick a Allen key into it, break it loose. It's pretty stubborn actually. You might have to get a big ratchet on it. But behind the plug is a shaft with a threaded portion. You gotta thread a small bolt, and then it just pulls out. It's not too bad, but it can be a bit stubborn. So you can see I got my 10 mil Allen key into it. I'm gonna use a 3/8 ratchet, but I might need something a little more heavy duty. This can really stick in there sometimes. Oh, not bad at all. Look at that. So you can see that's the plug there. It's only a short little plug, just a cap for that shaft. It's 90 to 6 mil bolt. You can find one in the engine somewhere. You can take it out somewhere else, or you can have one on hand. It needs to be probably about 1.5 inches long, so you can get a grab on it. I usually just give it a tug with a pry bar. Just thread in a few threads. A little bit more. See it sticks out. I usually just try and put a pry bar there, hook it, and it pulls out pretty easy. Shouldn't be much stress on it. I'm gonna thread it in a little bit more and pull the extra little bit. There we go. Should just slide out easy. This is the shaft. It's got a split into it because it fits into a little rod on the other side of the transmission. And you can see now the shift fork is completely loose. I took the little boot off, and it needs to be loose for the engine to come out because it hooks around the throw bearing. It's time to pull it. It shouldn't be too bad. My engineer, sometimes the block can stick to the transmission, but mine was out a year and a half ago, so I'm not worried about that. Man, I'm excited. I haven't done this in a long time. I can't wait to see what actually happened to my rod bearing. I'm really, it's really eating away at me now. Alright, let's go. Yeah, it's already split apart. Yeah, it's going apart pretty easy. Just like that. Chain. Nothing to it, eh? Cool stuff. Something I forgot to show you is underneath I jacked the well, not really jacked up, I just kind of held the transmission with my jack just to keep it open so it doesn't bang off the subframe when the engine comes out. But when I lower the car back down, the transmission needs somewhere to sit, so I'll show you. I usually just put it on a wood block like that just to keep it from being metal on metal. Just something to think about. It came out real easy, no issues at all. But before we put it on the stand, the clutch got to come off. It doesn't fit on the stand with the clutch on, so we just got to take the clutch and the flywheel off, we'll put it on the stand, have a look at it. There we go. Not bad, not bad. Here we go. I forgot to show you where I lift the engine from. There's really only two places that make sense. I'll show them to you. So the best place in the front is definitely the AC compressor bracket. It's really beefy here. And on the back, it's a little bit more niche. You get this spot here, it's the intercooler bracket. It's a little bit thin compared to the front one, but it still seems to be more than thick enough to lift the engine. It's a pretty light engine, so. So now it's on the stand. It's time to flip it over and take the oil pan off, check out what actually happened. I'm not even going to take the top stuff off because I want to see the extent of the damage before I go taking everything apart and not know what I'm getting into. Let's check it out. I'm not really sure where this oil leak came from. It must be between the pan and the block. I remember spending a lot of time cleaning up the pan and the mating surface of the block to make sure there's no leaks, but something failed. go. We're starting to get it there now. Alright, let's see what's happening in here. Alright, so I'm going to check to see if you can see that, but there's lots of metal shavings everywhere. Man, oh man. Alright, so I just refocused the camera there. You can see lots of pieces of metal, all kinds of bearing material everywhere through the engine. Alright, cool, so let's see what's behind the pickup and the baffle. So I've got a Killer B pickup here. Actually, I have one, and I'm wondering if my pickup actually did crack like they claim happens. I don't know. I'm not gonna chance it. I'm just gonna put the Killer B one on, but it'd be nice if that was the reason. Alright, check it out. I found which one spun anyways, or one of them who spun, the one that spun the worst. Check it out, look at the amount of movement. Isn't that gross? The rest don't seem to be too bad, but this one here, man oh man. I wonder why it happened. There's our answer. Number 2 rod bearing is spun real bad. We got all the parts to fix it though. I got a new crank, new used crank, new bearings. Hopefully you never trash the rods. I can't see that, but yeah, I'm excited to figure out what happened at least. Not sure why it spun. We'll have to see. That's it for tonight. I want to edit these past 2 videos, and I need to get some sleep. It's getting late here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you next time.